All right, guys, welcome back to the Hillside Farm. Now, it has been a very long time since I've been up here for an update. I've been working on some stuff, clearing some brush, things like that, but it has, well, gotten real. So finally got some stuff worked out with the property, and now it's go time. So I actually had a good friend of mine, lives down the road, owns a tractor, came through and go ahead and plow this up for me. It still needs to dry out and disc it up. It's not, it's not plantable at this point in time. We've had just so much rain lately, we can't get, have not gotten around to it. So as soon as it does dry out, it's going to be a little bit later than I would have hoped for. But when the ground does dry out, get this disked up, I'm going to be planting roughly 15 pounds of seed garlic in this to be a garlic production area. I already have some restaurants lined up that are going to purchase the garlic, so hopefully it's a start. But I measured it off. It's about 14 paces by 75 paces, so 75 by 14 to 15 yards. You can work out the feet on that and the square feet. But yeah, look at this. Where it's been raining so much, the remnants of the Hurricane Zeta came through. It rained for like 24, 48 hours almost straight, and you can see this, the ground is just puddled with water. It's right there, it's just super saturated. But yeah, so this soil here is more of a sandier clay soil. Get close. It does break apart. It's still clay, but it'll make a ball, but it's not the hard red clay like there is the the other places I've shown you from the hillside pepper plot and my house and everything like that. So getting the perspective down here, it's a relatively pretty flat area. This area here where I'm standing or kneeling now does slope down just a little bit, so that's going to be awesome. So this is going to be a huge chain of events that are going to happen. Get this turned over. Going to start trying to get into, like I said, producing some garlic, a semi-commercial but small scale, spacing into it. Have plenty of room here to expand my peppers. If people show interest in that, I'll be able to actually grow a lot more peppers, which is going to be so cool. But yeah, so the potential is definitely there. Got some blueberry bushes I'll be putting in. I'll show some videos of that. Haven't really decided where everything's going to go yet. Still just kind of in a planning and just kind of let's see what happens kind of attitude right now. But yeah, it was just a lot of thinking. It's a completely blank canvas. This is an old hay field. They took the hay off of it, recently, September, late September, early October, I believe. So it has been used, it's been cleared off, so it's not starting from woods or, just completely wild ground. So there is grass here, it's pretty thick. You can tell like when they turn the top over here, still has some of the remnants of the grass still. That's going to be disked in and plowed, but that's fine, it'll break down. And, I have nothing but time to kind of work on this, make it my own. As you can see, the leaves are falling, the wind is blowing. I believe this area that's cleared out is roughly like 1.2 acres. The whole area is 3.46 or right at 3.5, 3.5 acres. But yeah, most of it, there's actually a creek that's just on the other side of these trees. So it's bounded by this creek on this side. And then you see the tree line there, and it actually extends back this way. And the creek, you see these white barked, that's sycamore trees there. If you follow that line straight up there to a way, it makes a point and it comes back down the fence line. So that's mostly just trees and creek lines. So that's really not usable. It's probably half an acre that extends on that side of the fence. But I'm going to show you this over here, guys. So this area here where it's still flat and it still going to have tons of grass, there still will be able to pull a little bit of hay, but not nearly as much out of this area here. But they're still going to pull the hay out of the middle, so I'm not going to develop the entire thing all at once and just go out of control, you know what I mean? So, but this area down here, you can see that has been plowed up. They don't even take hay from this area down here because it stayed a little too moist, and it was mostly just weeds and kind of like, not really brush, but just, it wasn't hay. They didn't hay this out down here as it stays too wet, like I mentioned, because on the other side of this is that same creek that wraps around. And it's never gotten over the bounds that I've ever seen, anything more than flooding kind of like the base of these trees over here. But this area right here stays pretty moist. So I'm thinking next year this is going to be either pumpkins or maybe even watermelons, because they like the moisture. Of course, I'll have time to, this will be disked up and dried out as well. But this is really sandier as you get closer down here to the creek. you can just tell that the amount of sandy material in this soil is, yeah, this is actually still the clay, but I mean, this just breaks right apart. So once this gets dried out and disced up, it's gonna be just fine. You can tell right here with the standing water and these ruts right there that this area does hold a pretty decent amount of moisture. So, you know, pumpkins are water hogs. They love water, so the more water down here, and with this area, I'm just gonna let the pumpkins kind of just roam free. It's gonna just let them kind of do their thing. I think for the first year, at least, until I come up with a better idea for what to use this with. But I've grown pumpkins in the past, and you know, one thing it is the water is what you really got to make sure you water them. So with no irrigation system out here, because this is, like I said, just started off, this was a hay field. This is going to hopefully retain enough moisture down here, and of course I'll be mulching it and making more of the permanent raised bed structures in the future. So there's that. So just kind of going here, like I was trying to tell you, this is where the creek is, just runs right through here, you know, and it's always pretty much a steady stream of moisture. We had so much rain that it's actually kind of gone down from where the high was. It was pretty high, but like I said, it's never really gotten flooded out per se. It's never, I mean, I've seen it maybe just up to the base of these fence posts and the barbed wire and these trees right in this area, but that's really substantial, heavy downpour you'd have to have, because like I said, it rained like the last 24 hours straight with this tropical depression that came through, and as you can tell, it's already overnight, it's already retreated back down, and it never got up really close to that. So I'm not really worried about this area over here flooding per se, but like I was showing you, that it does retain the moisture as the water table is actually fairly high in this area right here, where it kind of funnels down from over here, where there's actually two different streams. This one funnels this way, and this one over here funnels that way, and they kind of join right there and then continue on down the road that way. So there you go, guys. This is a huge update, huge undertaking. Thank you to Matt, neighbor with the tractor, that plowed this up, and we'll be doing the disking. Can't say thank you enough, because trying to do this by hand would be completely impractical and just wear you out. It would take you months to do this by your hand. But you can see all these big roots that he's dug, that's kind of been unearthed right there. So that's what we're working with, you know. Had to bring in a lot of compost, some manures and stuff like this. No shortage of leaves, no shortage of hay. I did have a round bale up here donated, so that was going to be good. Let that break down eventually for mulching the first beds when it gets around to it. So yeah, so guys, hopefully you enjoyed this little update here. If you'd like to follow along with the Hillside Farm progress, please go ahead and subscribe. Give some thumbs up if you like this. If you've ever had an experience breaking ground and building something from scratch, and you have any advice or tips, let me know. Always willing to learn, always willing to listen. I'll take you guys along with this whole journey. It's going to be a big deal. 2020 has had its challenges, but let's hope 2021 starts off better and ends better than 2020 did, guys. So from the Hillside Farm, from the freshly plowed soil here, wherever your hillside might be, I'll see you there, and you come back and see me here. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.